Imagine being lost at sea for more than a year. Or trapped under a giant boulder, forced to do the unthinkable just to escape. Or even 4 young children surviving over a month alone in the Amazon rainforest after a plane crash. These are not movies. These are real stories of people who should have died, but didn't. Today, we're counting down 5 incredible true survival stories that will leave you speechless. And make sure to stick around until the very end. The last story is almost impossible to believe. In November 2012, Salvadoran fisherman José Salvador Alvarenga set out from Mexico on what was supposed to be a routine 30-hour fishing trip. But a sudden storm changed everything. The boat's motor failed, its electronics died, and strong currents dragged them far from shore. Stranded in the vast Pacific Ocean, Alvarenga and his companion had no way to call for help. Days turned into weeks. They caught fish, turtles, and even jellyfish with their bare hands. When it rained, they drank the water. When it didn't, they drank turtle blood. His companion eventually gave up and died, but Alvarenga refused to surrender. For 438 days, more than 13 months, he drifted alone across thousands of miles of ocean. Finally, in January 2014, he washed up on a remote island in the Marshall Islands, weak, covered in sores, but alive. José Salvador Alvarenga's survival remains one of the most extreme stories in maritime history. He had endured starvation, storms, and loneliness. But he never gave up. In April 2003, 27-year-old hiker Aron Ralston ventured into Utah's Blue John Canyon. Hiking alone, he didn't tell anyone where he was going, a mistake that nearly cost him his life. While climbing through a narrow passage, a massive boulder shifted and pinned his right arm against the canyon wall. He was stuck, completely trapped. Ralston had only a small amount of water, a few snacks, and a dull multi-tool knife. For 5 days, he struggled to free himself, chipping away at the rock, rationing sips of water. His body weakened. He carved his name and the date of death into the wall, recording a goodbye message on his camera. On the 6th day, with no hope of rescue, he made a decision most of us can't even imagine. He amputated his own arm with that dull knife. After freeing himself, he rappelled down a 65-foot wall and hiked until he found rescuers. Aron Ralston survived because of sheer determination. His story became the film 127 Hours, but the reality is even more shocking than the movie. In 1994, Italian athlete Mauro Prosperi entered the Marathon des Sables, an ultramarathon across the Sahara Desert in Morocco. The race is already brutal, over 150 miles in the scorching heat. But during the event, a violent sandstorm blew in. Prosperi lost his way and found himself completely alone in the desert. With almost no supplies, he wandered for days. He found an abandoned shrine where he tried to shelter. To survive, he drank his own urine, ate insects, and even bats he managed to catch. Temperatures soared during the day and froze at night. Prosperi nearly gave up, even attempting suicide, but his body was too dehydrated for it to work. After nearly 10 days lost in the Sahara, he was finally discovered by a nomadic family and brought to safety. He had lost nearly 40 pounds, but he was alive. His survival showed the brutal extremes the human body and mind can endure. In January 2006, Australian man Ricky Megee was driving through the country's remote outback when his life took a terrifying turn. After being attacked and left for dead by strangers, he woke up alone in the middle of nowhere. His car, his supplies, and his phone, gone. The outback is one of the harshest environments on Earth, searing heat, venomous creatures, and little water. Ricky had to improvise to survive. He built a makeshift shelter out of branches and leaves. He drank water from dams and puddles when he could. When desperate, he even drank his own urine. For food, he ate insects, frogs, snakes, and leeches. He was malnourished, sunburned, and near death. But after 71 days, workers at a remote cattle station found him. He weighed just 100 pounds, his skin burned and scarred. But against all odds, he was alive. Ricky Megee's survival remains one of the longest documented cases of endurance in the Australian wilderness. On May 1, 2023, a small plane carrying 7 people crashed into the dense Amazon rainforest in Colombia. The 3 adults on board, including the children's mother, died in the crash. 4 young siblings survived: Leslie, age 13, Soliani, age 9, Tien, just 4 years old, and baby Kristen, barely 1. Alone in one of the most dangerous environments on Earth, these children faced torrential rains, poisonous plants, snakes, jaguars, and starvation. But Leslie, the oldest, remembered survival skills taught by her grandmother from their indigenous heritage. For 40 days, the siblings lived off seeds, roots, and a small bag of cassava flour they had salvaged from the wreck. They hid inside tree trunks at night and used leaves for shelter. Colombian soldiers and indigenous searchers combed the jungle for weeks, finally finding the children on June 9, exhausted, malnourished, covered in insect bites, but alive. Their story stunned the world, 4 children, alone in the Amazon, surviving together for more than a month. A true modern miracle of resilience. What do all these survival stories have in common? First, incredible mental strength. None of these people gave up, even when death seemed certain. Second, adaptability. Whether it was eating bats, amputating an arm, or protecting younger siblings, each found a way to endure. And third, hope. Even when there was almost none, they clung to it. Now I want to ask you, which of these 5 stories amazed you the most? Could you survive in the ocean, the desert, or the jungle? Comment below and let me know what you think. These incredible survival stories prove that the human spirit is stronger than we ever imagined. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe for more amazing stories, and ring the bell so you never miss what's next. Thanks for watching, and remember, sometimes, survival is the greatest victory of all.